You guys ever picked up a hole at the range, or maybe one of your holes you've been using is just a little bit too tired and it gives out on you? Something like this. You get the crimp split, or it gets a little toasty and melty up here. It happens. Stuff like your Federal, these Fiocchis, Shadats, they last 5 or 6 reloads on average and they're done. You get stuff like this. Well, there's a way around that. It can be saved. So what we're doing here is loading up some 2 1/4 inch loads. You can, if you cut off a 1/2 inch of your final crimp tube on your reload all, and use a resize ring under the pre-crimp station and the final crimp station as a base to raise your shell height up, you can fold crimp it on here. I've done it many times. It does work. But I might show you that, but I plan on just sticking with a roll crimp today. Gary Caskey has sent me it's a wad trimmer, and this right here you see in the front of it is an adapter for it to be able to trim hulls. This one is for 12 gauge. He is working on a 10 gauge version, and I believe he has these in 20 and 16 gauge if I remember right. So anyway, let's get started. This is adjustable, by the way. Just has a Phillips head screw. You can back this out or screw it down to control how far you want it to, trim your hull. I have it set to cut a 2 1/4 inch shell. All you do is stick it in there. Hold on. That's actually bent inwards. There we go. You just slide it in your hull. Turn it. Now I have a trim shell. Almost dropped it. 2 1/4 inch length. I know it's kind of hard to see with this white shirt and that stupid thing behind me. Who needs windows? Anyway, this is a Fiocchi hull with a European primer pocket, so we are going to have to swage that back down to American size. I'll show you how to do that. It's really simple too. Alright, to resize these Euro size primer pockets back down to American, you'll need a piece of metal or something really hard. It can't be wood. It just doesn't work. It's too soft. Doesn't give enough resistance. This is actually the primer door off this press back here. That's what I'm using, but you could use obviously something like an anvil. Maybe a cinder block would work. Not the ones with the holes in it, of course. The solid ones, whatever they're called. Brain's not really functioning right now. You also need, of course, a hammer and what I use is a 1/4 inch socket extension. Set it down inside your hull, above the primer pocket right here, and give it like 2 or 3 really good hits with the hammer, and that will resize it. I would show it off on camera, but right now my wife's not here and I don't have Josh with me either, so I'm on my own and I ain't got 3 hands. And just to show you that actually did resize it, here's a different hole, still a Fiocchi, also once fired with a Shadat primer. Goes right in by hand. See, I can push that back out real quick. Slowly. And here's the hole that I just resized the pocket on. It ain't going in. Not at all. But no, you can't physically push that in. Go over to the press. There we go. So that's how you do that. So in this kit Gary has, you actually get 2 wad trimmers. One of them is for tapered wall wads, meaning the inside of this TPS wad here is tapered, like a Winchester AA shell is. And the other one here that I have the hull trimmer adapter on is for straight wall wads, like your LBC 50. The inside of that wad, the shot cup, is straight wall. No taper. You also get a handle. Now, I don't use the handle myself because I just do it by hand, but I could see where someone would want to use the handle. It just attaches like this. It's friction fit. And I'll go ahead and trim this. Why not? Just like that. Ooh. I shouldn't have worn a white shirt for this video. That's on me. But, that's what's in the kit. It comes in this PVC canister here. It's got a lid. Nice and neat little package. Now, I'm using a 2 3/4 inch TPS wad. They sell these in 3 inch and 3.5 inch and several lengths shorter than 2 3/4 inch. The end result after I trim this is going to be 1.5 inch. Now, I'm not sure if they sell an 1.5 TPS wad, but they might. I haven't checked on that. But yeah, the end result here is going to be an 1.5 inch TPS wad. So you could use any length longer than 1.5 inch to trim this down. Wrong one. Again, this is really easy to do. You just give it a quick spin. Just like that. And this holds 10 pellets of 29 cal #1 buck. And again, these are adjustable with just a Phillips head screwdriver, your 4-way. You know, you just turn it, and that lets you control the depth of, it lets you control how long you want your wad, essentially. Very, very handy tool to have. Now, since this is just a 1 ounce load, you know, 10 pellets of 29 cal #1 buck, we're using a faster burning powder today. I'm using Tight Group, 15 grains of it. That will give me plenty of room in the hull to roll or fold crimp this. So, let's get to getting our powder charge in there. Set on my scale. 15 grains of this powder takes up next to no room in your hull. And there's our 15 grain charge. Next, take our wad. We need to slit this. The ones I have are unslit, but of course you can get them pre-slit too. A few months back, Gary sent me a wad slitter here. I already have it set to my preferred, slit depth. 3/4 cut with 4 petals. Let's see if I can get it over here. Yeah. Just push down, and it is ready to go. Try to show you here. You guys have seen this before. You got 4 petals, 3/4 cut on that wad. Set that right in there, and here it is. Man, I'm using a lot of stuff from Gary today. Wad tamper to get that seated down. We need about a 1/4 inch or an 1/8 inch fiber cushion wad. Ow. Something stabbed me. Right in the bottom of the wad. Make it flat, give it a little bit of cushion. You want cushion with faster burning powders like this. They build up pressure fast. Alright. And that's what that looks like. 10 pellets of 29 cal. What I'm calling #1 buck anyway. 2. Don't roll out of my hand. There's 4. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 pellets comes up right to the top of the wad. Trying to show you here without dropping them out. I think we got it. A little bit uneven in there. I fixed it. Fiber cushion wad wasn't seated down perfectly flat. Now at this point you could throw a bingo chip on there or an overshot card and just roll crimp it, or as you guys can see, there's plenty of room to fold it. I might try fold crimping a #4 buck load here in just a second, but we're just rolling this one, and buffer is of course optional. I'm not putting buffer in this load because this one is just going to be shot at the range. I don't intend on taking this out for hunting, although you totally could. Well, I say that, we haven't patterned it yet. You can, of course, use your brand new primed hulls too. This one's a Fiocchi with an 8mm base. We need the hull trimmer here. Trim that 2 1/4 inches. I'll tell you the overall length of the hull once it's rolled, after I, roll these two for you here. Now next we need our other wad trimmer without the adapter on it. 2 3/4 inch TPS wad. Trim that down to 1.5 inch. Grab our wad slitter. 4 petal, 3/4 cut. 15 grains of Tight Group. It's right here. 14. Should be 15 right there. Sure is. Lid to my powder is right here. Don't want to spill that. Rip off a chunk of our fiber cushion wad here. That looks about right. Wad. Fiber cushion. And this one's number 4 buck. I have an ounce of it weighed out right here. It is 21 pellets. It's actually slightly over an ounce. I need to tamp that down. 21 pellets here is 1.02 ounces, which is barely over an ounce. I'm just dropping it right in there. Giving it a shake. They'll find their own way. Looks just like that. Well, you guys can't see it without me, spilling them out here. But toss your bingo chip on there and give it a roll. Let's give these a roll here. Not bad. On to the other one. Looking pretty good. So those came out pretty good. I'm just using a cheap Amazon forest camping roll crimp tool. 12 gauge, of course. Blue and red bingo chips look awesome on there. This one was obviously the Once Fire. This one was the brand new haul with the number 4 buck. Pretty good looking shells to me. I did mention you could fold these too. So I have another one done up with number 4 buck. Identical same, except for I have a one thin slice of 24 gauge nitro card on top, just for better crimp here. What you got to do is take your resize ring, set it under either one of the stations you want, either 6 or 8. I'll put it on the 6, I suppose. Play straight in there. Set it on your resize ring. Oops. Takes a little finesse. And give it a pre-crimp. That's impossible to see. There you go. And after that, put your resize ring under your final crimp station and just give it a final crimp. There you go. You got a fold crimp on that one. Pretty short. I just realized this is my 10 gauge press. Oh well, kind of ugly, but that's because it's, modified to load 10 gauge. This one is set up for 16. Oh well, we still have a crimp on it. That ain't horrible. Yep, that's what it looks like when you crimp a 12 gauge shell on a 10 gauge modified legal oil press. Modified from 12 gauge, of course. Not horrible, but, not the best. This is my tripod, I guess you could call it. It's what I'm filming on. Upside down soup pot stacked with 4 cans of buffer. So, there's that. All kinds of loading components sitting around here. We got a, double up buck in there. Number 4 in here. Just got Josh a pound of HS6. The container for the wad slitter, not the trimmer, the slitter here. That the hull trimmer, the wad trimmer kit comes with instructions, so that's pretty handy. Alright, so what do we have for overall length here? With the fold crimp shell, we have an overall length of exactly 1 7/8 inches. For the roll crimp shell, we have an overall length of exactly 2 inches. So, that's pretty good. That'll let you get more capacity in your pumps and possibly your semi-autos if they will run these. We've shot a few short shells in my H&R Parter pump. It cycles them just fine. It's based off a Remington 870. Those will run short shells fine too. Well guys, I appreciate you watching this one. Please like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. If you got any questions or comments, leave it in the comment section below. We will get back to you. We read all the comments. And thank you for watching.